Hi friends, welcome to the Linux Full Administrator course. Before starting this course, I would like you to inform it is more like a practical course instead of theoretical. Of course, you can find more theory about various topics in details on the web, but it's a more like a practical lab. In this course, you will set up your own VM and practice on it. Of course, any topic needs some brief info, so I will include that. I will try to cover as many topics as I can to make one of the best courses for you. So let's start your journey with the Linux and let's start with introduction and overview. Let's understand what we are going to cover in this course. First, we will learn about Linux introduction and overview. What is Linux, how it works, why it is so much popular. And then we will set up our own Linux VM for practice on it. In the third module, we will learn about Linux terminal and with some basic command like date, cal, history, man, how do you create piping and aliases. In the fourth module, we will master the Linux file system by learning some popular commands like ls, cd, create, delete, and modify folders, how you can use locate, find, grep, sed, awk command. Also, it includes archiving and compression of files and folders. In the fifth module, you will learn how to create a bash script, cron jobs, how you can set up and unset up environment variables, and how do you see job processes related to you and other users. In the last section, you are going to see how you can modify and install source code, how you can explore software repos which includes different type of packages, and also how you can find a suitable package for your app and how you can install them, update them, and uninstall them. So let's start our journey with module 1, Linux introduction and overview. So you must heard about this term earlier in your IT world, Linux. So what is Linux? So I would say Linux is a free and open source family of operating system that is resilient and flexible. So what do you mean by open source family of operating system? So the system's code is accessible to everyone for anyone to look at the and change, make it cool that anyone can see how the system works. People from all across the world are urged to work together and keep developing Linux due to its openness. Since the beginning, Linux has grown into a dependable and safe OS that is used in an array of gadgets, including PCs and cell phones, and even in some supercomputers. Linux is very similar to Unix and it is built upon the Linux kernel. The Linux kernel is like the brain of the operating system because it manages how the computer interacts with hardware and network resources or underlying resources. So, how do you explain the kernel? So, let's understand with the help of a diagram. So there is some underlying infrastructure on your computer level which consists of RAM and CPU. And on the top layer, you will have an operating system software which includes some pre-installed utility, your system processes, and some software apps that you might have installed afterwards your operating system gets installed. How do you make interact with each other? So there is some kernel comes into the play. So the kernel is like communication between hardware and software resources so that it can be fully workable operating system. So I'm hoping you have understand the working of kernel. Let's proceed further with understanding the Linux history and what are all the distribution that you have for Linux. So let's meet in the next section.